Hey everybody, it's Bugsy Prime. Me and the guys spent like a Saturday morning and afternoon watching stuff. We were watching freaking one Saturday morning off of one of the nostalgia channels on Tower Unite, and they were playing the one Saturday morning. It was great. It was really great. I wish you guys were there. You would love it. All of us sitting down watching cartoons while eating cereal. I mean, best feeling in the world, really. The guys are kind of still making sure everything's cool, making sure have the recruits have everything down because we're all taking breaks. Even though we're taking breaks from Double Zeta Breaker, me and the guys just backed away as soon as we saw Camille just saying he was going to literally eat a baby. We're just like, you Titan motherfuckers need to chill. I mean, what I think going Titan is just them being bitches. I mean, they don't turn into Cross. Cross are worse because they'll actually turn fucking violent. But I feel like people who go Titan in the Double Zeta Breaker universe are just aggro babies. Demoman was the biggest aggro baby. Like everybody says, like, well, Prime, you hate Demoman, so of course you're gonna say he's aggro. No, but think about it. I hate Demoman because when push comes to shove, when he really needs to become a leader, he doesn't. Even when the Titan shit was out of him. What did he focus on, folks? Sado, Washu, Sado, over and over and over again. Well, I made that original video of me talking about how he isn't really much of a leader because he really isn't. A mercenary has no fucking place being a fucking leader. And trust me, I was a reluctant leader. My old Papa Artemis, made me into the one I was, trained me. And even though I didn't, and God knows I didn't really like it at first. Hell, how do you feel being literally about 13, right? And saying you're going to rule the entire freaking Chaos Lord race. No pressure though, but the book told me that you will. I didn't take to it well, and I'll admit, I vanished to go find where Sephiroth was. I wasn't a good, I ran for the longest time, but after what Thardarchus, my uncle did to my dad Artemis, I had to take up the role. And I didn't just, oh, we're going to go fight these people because blah blah blah. No, I had a lot of problems with my own nation, man. They were fighting. We had a class system. It's a bunch of stupid shit. I literally had to slap on the bureaucrats and go, look, I'm in control now. You can mutter and scream and moan and groan, but I'm in control. Whether you like it or not, I'm your king. Deal with it. And they dealt with it when they kept sending assassins to me and I kept ripping the assassins' legs off. C'est la vie. See, but the thing I'm trying to get at here, folks, I went through it. I went through the ringer. I didn't make the Chaos Nation. I didn't make the Chaos Nation for everybody just so I could attack the people I don't like and then fucking be fucking feel like emboldened because I murdered all the citizens in the nation, but I'm not gonna help Even though I ain't the one that ended lines, Vlad did it, but I'm the one that shot them all. You know? And you know what you guys didn't see? I went to Devilman's thing and I said, Devilman, you motherfucker. You stupid motherfucker, as I said. You are the real reason that you lose in everything you do. And he's like, I don't need to take that from a Chaos Lord that has every freaking power known to man. I'm like, at least I use the power to help people. What, you turned fucking Titan and still couldn't take down Zeta. And I'm like, I just looked at him. He's like, get the fuck out of here. And I just punched him in the gut. I'm like, okay, one, you can't order me around. I'm not part of Red Team anymore. First off. Two, be glad I don't wipe the Yugdobania off the goddamn map because I can. And number two, Tavish, you're being a right bellend. You're not trying to listen to your people. You're not trying to listen to anything. You're singly focused on getting this Tiberium. And you don't care who you hurt. The Brotherhood of Freedom's trying to stop the Tiberium. And then made up a thing where you guys can get all the Tiberium you want and still be able to save people. So you still get what you want. But no, it's never enough. It's almost like you kind of suck being a leader. And he was like, what about you with all the protests and all the things that happen? I'm able to talk to my people peacefully. Some of the bureaucrats want to fight me, sure, but I take care of that. I don't take care of that violently like you do, because you're like, let's throw a nuke at everything. And like, oh my god, there's a lot of stories like that you guys never got to see. Here's one that always sticks in my mind. When Devilman went to Jirai and totally drunk the Kool-Aid. I haven't been to Jirai. The funny thing is, I hadn't been to Jirai in so long. Me and Seto used to date when we were teenagers. It's not really that important. It's only worth mentioning because some of this stuff I'm about to say kind of is a little relevant. So, here I go in Jirai, seeing everybody turn into like this, seeing a massive, in YouTube friendly terms, a drum circle, a massive, throbbing drum circle. I'm like, Devilman, what the? And he's like, Bug. He calls me Bugsy or Argos, depending on like what's going on. But he's like, Argos, I didn't hear you come in. You should join this. It's been really good. And I was like, Demo. I have Miss Enigma. This is before I actually had Miss Enigma let in Mouse lead. It's kind of a four-person kind of deal. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so me and Demo were literally talking about it. And I'm like, Demo, this is what happens because you never had any. I basically said he never had any what's on his dick, on his shillelagh, or his gilded cage, right? And it's like, what does that have to do with anything? He's like, what does that have to do with anything? And I was like, a lot. Because you're just, when you're a teen, you get to do things of a more perverse nature. I didn't say perverse nature, but I'm just trying to keep it brief for you guys on YouTube. And he's like, maybe I actually found something that's actually good. I'm like, no, you're just high off of doing all this because that's what Seto wants you to do. But again, played into her hands. Then, Seto, my universe's version of Seto, came up and was like, "Oh, I see you're looking at the festivities. You want to join in?" And I'm looking at Seto. Like, y'all can't see it, but the face I'm making right now, as I'm looking at this guy, is the same face I made looking at Seto. And it was so fucking just... It was a mixture of pissed and just why. As in, why did this go so far? I'm not saying Seto was the same, always. And when I was with Seto, it wasn't always like that. But she was a practical joker. The old kind of practical joke. Not this prank shit that all these other prankster characters be doing now. What we touching? A little hand buzzer. Gum that makes you addicted to heroin. I only did that. I did that to Vegeta, actually. Yeah. Yeah, that was a little fucked up. At least, I never went farther than that. Me and Seto used to be partners in crime. Before she started getting into, fetishes and shit. We were like, simpatico at a point. And, I indulged her when it happened, but then it got a little too much. And a bunch of other stuff happened that I don't want to talk about on this YouTube channel that I will not say. But no, then we had this long discussion where I was like, this is wrong. She's like, no, you're just being a prude. You used to love this kind of thing. I was like, when it was just us. Not when you had the whole freaking planet. Not when you had the whole freaking planet in a freaking loving embrace. And I made a little crack at Demo Man like, well, knowing Tavish, he don't know no better. He ain't never had action like this. He got mad about that. See, when we fought, it made more sense. He's like, what? He's like, why do you always treat me like a child? Because you act. And I was like, because you act like one. I may not be older than you, but why you always have to treat me like that? Because you act like one, Tavish. You never think about your own people. You always think about your own vendettas. You literally don't care about no one but yourself. The real reason why Dylan Man said he doesn't care about anybody else because me and him literally had a match. I shot him match before I fought him for the last time. Then the Bible Black stuff happened, and oh my god, I don't even want to explain that one to you. I had Demonic with me that time because, I know Demonic magic doesn't really fuck with me, but I just had to be safe. I had to be sure. Now, Demonic, he took half of those Coven idiots down. We spent 2 to 3 weeks dealing with those Coven idiots. Although most characters in Marvel Black are basically very hostile with 50 inches of what you already know. But I had to, I talked to Demo Man that one time and he was like, oh, here you go, coming to talk down to me. I was like, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to talk down to you because quite honestly, you're doing blood sacrifices, dude. What the actual hell? And I just I sat there. Don't worry about what's going on over there. I was like, I was, and me and him, and he's like, no, this feels so good. I said, don't bring the Bible black characters in here. You're going to regret it. Demo, I didn't know, I mean, I always knew you were corruptible, but I didn't know you were dumb too. I didn't say just he was dumb. I said more than that, but we're not going to say that on YouTube. All because they got the stuff banned. Now, when I did the Stormfront, I literally found out he was in love with JoJo, and I beat the living shit out of him for all this. I said, Stormfront, you ain't nothing but a pussy. You ain't nothing but an actual quivering mass. All that bravado, all that rage you got, it's really just for show, isn't it? Some people don't know this, but I did destroy Shirako in the most elaborate way I could. Y'all know I can go into people's minds, right? And, okay. How can I say this in a very nice way? I literally made Shirako pay for all the stuff. All the stuff he did. And I said, let me tell you something about order my broken friend. You idiots know nothing about it. It's funny that a Chaos Lord is, the irony of Chaos Lords, and this is what I told him, but this is something you guys need to know too. And the irony of a Chaos Lord is that we do keep balance, so in a way we do keep order. That's pretty funny when you think about it. So yeah, I broke Shirako, took him down. When everybody jumped into the timeline, and I literally just sat there doing what I did. I went to the other timeline because I still got my God of Time powers. So what else was I gonna do? I saw Quattro, I saw Camille, and I saw Naruto. But I also saw Reika, and I was like, oh Jesus, y'all, like, do you guys know that I have my own PTSD dealing with those Bible Black characters? Do you guys even know? It's like my own version of the Evil Dead. Maybe one day I'll talk about it, but not now. So as I just look and see how fucked everything becomes, the only thing that gave me some solace was seeing Camille and Reika together. I was like, maybe they do have a chance. Maybe I can let go of my hatred. Something that the Double Zeta Breaker universe never really knows how to do for the life of itself. But now Camille's talking about eating babies. I'm just like, I know Pop once told me to look after the human race. Every version of it. But I don't think I can keep looking after the Double Zeta Breaker. Because they're always going to do the most stupid shit, the most wrongest shit. And never really learn from their mistakes. Let's just say Devilman was in the Double Zeta Breaker universe. Devilman started to do things a little weirdly because he was getting married to that freaking Bottle Black character. And that's when I talked to him the last and final time. He told me how good it felt to do what he did, and I was like, He's banned, but I also Hakai'd him. So, I don't know if banning negates my Hakai'ing, but it happened. I just looked at him and said, before he disappeared completely, this is why, Tavish, you're so easily led astray. And pretty much by booty. Nothing else. Booty. I'm like, it ain't even really, it's always about that. It's always about, like, if it ain't, if it ain't booty, it's about it's about one-upping somebody. You don't care about nations or factions or any of that. Or this team. Willing to give it to this chick because you be getting it. I would have stopped the Bible Light chick myself, but I did, and y'all know what I did to I and the others. Doesn't even need to be said now. But I did grab the Bible Blind character so that Delman was with. I looked at her. I said, idiots like you deserve being down there. And that's what Lilithmon is too. Yeah, y'all know this because Lilithmon just dies. No, she's been in hell for ever since what she wanted to do to Kuro. So she's been in hell for ever, and then we transferred her to the underworld because you guys, the Double Zeta Breaker universe, just anybody can bust out of hell. So I was like, no, we're keeping her in the underworld. Hades was happy to do it. Him and Lucifer have a little bit of a rivalry, but he kind of backs up because he knows that I'm like Hades' brother, so that's the thing. You know why we have another universe of Black Bomber? Because the Black Bomber we used to know, because somehow Regulus is the Black Bomber we used to know. We don't know how it happened. We don't know how our Black Bomber became the Regulus we knew. But we were happy about it. Because we were so tired of Black Bomber constantly talking about every chick he's porked in the last 24 hours. And we were just like, we got our own Black Bomber back. And we did kind of let him know that he did try to do a bunch of shit. And we didn't forgive him right away. Time dilation is a bitch. So when you guys saw like a month or 2 months, it's like 3 years. Time dilation for us is kind of a bitch sometimes because chrono storms and shit. I think one of the other things you need to really know is that when another thing you really need to know is that when me and the guys stopped Dark Charmeleon, we just kind of like slapped him in. We threw him like Overlord beat him up and we threw him in the volcano. But I slapped him in the neck. And I just was like, die, motherfucker. Overlord really hates these, some of them when they just say they became villains because, bullshit answer. And and I'm saying, and this is his words, not mine. He said, like, you guys become evil over bullshit. Where Kai and Master Ozzy were talking, and I was with them all the time. Where? And he's like, I remember Overlord saying this. I'll do it in his voice because I do a pretty good impression. See, this is the real reason I hate some of you Double Zeta Breaker villains. Half of you become villains over dumb ass shit. Oh, Master Ozzy and freaking Kai you were hanging out with them and they drove you insane? Motherfucker, you barely have an actual character. You're just an angry motherfucker that loves to fight. There ain't nothing more to you. So you being evil doesn't really make you cooler. It makes you dumber. Kind of just makes me feel like you didn't even have a personality to begin with. Which I don't like. Overlord will say he didn't, but I think he did. And he'll be like, but he doesn't because he always acts like everybody's bothering him, but he never wants to leave. He's like Shinji, just more angry. And how many traps did we? And how many traps? And all the traps that Zeta did, like, oh yeah, did you guys know that when Black Bomber had the comic key? I think we said this before, but me, Noir, and G, back when G and Noir weren't doing their own thing, we literally came up to Soldier. We looked at him. We said, motherfucker, if you do anything for this cruise because everybody's just chilling after every last single war that your motherfucking team caused. And then Soldier was like, you maggots are just freaking set supporters. You wanna get with her too, and then I just, guys, I'm gonna tell you this. I literally balled up Soldier into a goddamn ball, and he was bleeding. And I literally said to him, as he bled, I said, "This is why, Soldier. You just do random things, and I used to tolerate it, but not anymore." We did beat him up afterwards because he kept coming back for us too. That's what they don't show you. And we kept beating him. He even tried to fight us with Kamen Rider gear. I don't know how he was able to grab mine. Yeah, I have the Silver Kamen Rider on me at all times. Just in case if I can't use my actual powers in various universes, that's like my get out of jail free card when it comes to power. So I grabbed it, tried to use the Silver Chalice, and it blew up on him. See, Kamen Rider powers kind of go to the user, and I can still use the Silver Kamen Rider stuff. Other people can't. Well, that's not entirely true. The other Bugsies can because genetically they are me. But it blew up in Soldier's face. And we knew that the Scout clones were made by Seto all this time. Oh, we stopped them in our universe and we tried to tell Devilman and the others, but they didn't want to listen. Mostly because when Devilman was going all tight, and I may have grown back his eye. It got haunted. We were running from it, and I said, this is why you're such a freaking loser. A normal person would have been able to take that haunting out of your eye socket. It was a big thing. And then, yeah, I do kind of talk down to Devilman like he's a kid, but dude, with all the stuff he's done, can you blame me? Can any of you blame me? Nuke this, bomb that. I'm gonna force Black Bomber to do something unholy in that cell while I watch. There's a bunch of shit with him. I think what's even more sad, what happened to Mahoshi and Kiane. Now, Mel, it really fucked with him, man. And then we had to fight him because somehow they crossed over into our universe. I made quick work of them. But I did kind of then resented their lives over here. The kind of bright stuff never really happened in their minds. We still remember, but they don't. But that's all I was able to really do. Kind of bright, well, they're still soul slaves, and they hate every minute that they're sort of alive. Like Kai, he was talking mad shit. He just resigned. He's like straight up subservient to us now. Bright, Bright is so afraid of me. He's, he's like, yes. He's like, yes, Master Bugsy. Run away, Master Bugsy. I promise. I promise I won't do anything wrong, Master Bugsy. I literally destroyed them mentally. You know, and you guys can say, well, that's a little harsh. Dude, they did some things. Watch watch the last series. Watch the last series before the one that you're seeing now. And tell me I wasn't right in what I did. Even Gomamon and his little goose stepping patrol, they got it worse. And you're really wondering how did I get Angelo if he became Iron Mask? Oh, don't you worry. Let's just say I did a little bio breaking. You don't want to know what that is. Mel is a little nicer to Aya. God knows why. Well, I know why, but still. It's fucking dumb. But he doesn't, he would never hurt a lady. We wouldn't either. But I was like really thinking of something really grueling and time consuming to mess with her with. Having like a bunch of rabbits, you guys saw ReZero with the bunnies. I was gonna do something like that. But Mel said, no, Bugsy, man, don't you do that, man. Like, I can help her. I was like, fine, Mel, do what you want. He's like, thanks, man. I was like, don't thank me, man, I'm just saying. She did slit some throats. You can't tell me. You can't tell me that you can't tell me that you don't deserve something worse. She probably does, but for once, can you let the judgment for her go? And let me try to do my magic? I was like, it's more like a vacation for her, but Mel made her see the error of her ways, and she does repent. So she can probably go to heaven while we'll still have, like, Angelo and Gomamon for the rest of their days. Gomamon, unsurprisingly, doesn't think he did anything wrong. And still tries to fight me every day. But I still keep beating him and backhanding him and a bunch of other stuff, and I'm just like, look, you can't win against me. You pretty much lost. And yeah, you're a soul slave, so really there ain't no release for you. You're stuck. And it's like, all because I tried to destroy the freaking Digimon characters and the Bible Black characters. And I was like, yeah, but the thing is, you idiots, and not just you, dumb man, all you other motherfuckers, you guys go to extremes. And like, how do you like? He's like, what about you guys? We took down Seto and broke her, and I was like, We took down Seto, broke her confidence, and our Seto is in a motel eating ice cream, getting chunky because we know how to take her down. You idiots just make it more of a challenge for her. But, what can I say from a fucking fascist like yourself going on? What can I literally say? You just, and that, that's always gonna be you. He's like, why do you always act high and mighty to me or Devilman? Because you two act like morons and not leaders. Letting your own personal vendettas dictate. And trust me, Devilman deserves what he got because of what he did to you. But you shouldn't have burned down the entire freaking graveyard. What the hell is wrong with you? No. Oh, Seto and the Battle Black characters broke you, like you're gonna say. I'm like, and I just look, and he got mad, like, you're acting like you're better? And I'm like, yeah, because at least I know how to handle myself mentally. What about you? Freaking getting mad at Seto and all this other shit that happened. You guys always say, oh, when y'all get shunted to another universe, it's a different you, but here you are, mad as the nest of hornets after everything that Seto has done. And look at you now. Not even alive, but not even dead. Being my captive for all eternity. He's like, it was worth it. And he's, I broke that out of him after a few weeks. He's still I still get kind of mad when he said why are you better than us? Because I'm better than y'all because at least I act mature and not like a little kid with nukes. Difference between me and you idiots. And the council, we look at all aspects before we just start, going to war. Because that's what smart thinking, logical beings do. And yeah, and he saw Skips from regular show's head mounted on my wall, and he's like, you did that to Yep, because he sold us out over some dumb shit. And he was right. I'll concede to that. But I ain't gonna have no traitors in my midst. I don't care if he was sad. That doesn't give him the right to do what he did. I just tell you, I really did take him down with the lightsaber. And Skids looked at me like, if you do this, the Black Bible characters just win. And you selling everybody out was gonna stop that. No, you were, and I healed him for a minute, and we just talked. I was like, let me just tell you something, Skid. You didn't do that because you didn't do that because you felt like they needed to be stopped. You did that because you felt slighted. You did all of that because you felt that you needed to make them pay. And it's like, but my mental state. And yes, I do feel for you. I do feel that it was unfair that Clips died. But you can't use that as your excuse because you betrayed us. You did. You could have just kept watching Ratchet's girlfriend and see if she was an actual fucking spy. Why did you idiots in the Double Zeta Breaker universe forego all common sense? It's like, would you make the same call if it was like Ansakamaru or Haruman? Yes, I would, because then I'd have to see if she's actually evil or good or not. Because that's what it means to actually be a leader and having everything put together. Unlike you morons who freaking shoot without thinking. Because that's what you idiots do. And you use the fact that you're in pain to justify your actions. And for some, I'm not even gonna be mad at it. But for you, Devil Man, and many others, yeah, I have nothing to say to you. You big crybaby Yeti. I got nothing. He would, and he tried to punch me, and I, like the chaotic champ I am. I took the punch. It didn't really do anything. I was like, my turn, and I just started whooping him. It's not because of my power that I'm beating you. It's because I know how to use power for actual good. You, on the other hand, don't care. And that's fine. But I'm not going to let you betray everybody because you feel slighted. Sketch isn't really even dead. I just mounted him on the wall. He's like in a state of suspended animation. But I did stick the lightsaber inside his sternum. That did happen. Post, anything that happens in post series is that doesn't count. That's like, it's like Nep Station. But he still hates it. I mean, most of them hate me. I gotta be real with you. Most of them hate me because, quite honestly, when it comes to leadership, when it comes to actually thinking of a plan, I'm the more logical. Like, yeah, some of the stuff I do does come out of emotion. But emotion with a little bit of logic is a good thing. Because you can't go with all emotion because you're gonna do stupid things that you're gonna regret. They'll end in a lot of people's, untimely demises. But you can't be all logical too, because you're gonna be so robotic in your choices. You're not gonna know what to really do. So you gotta have a mix of both. The one thing that Red Team, Skips, Gomamon, all these motherfuckers like. Why do you think in this I beat them all the time? And you don't really see it, but I have. Because they can never know what it means to be a leader. To actually have that care, that love for your nation, for what you care about. It's always about them and what they gotta do. Mahoshi and Keone don't really fit this kind of parameter because what happened to them, they're exempt. But the others, they're not exempt. If anything, and even their universe adjacent versions of them hate us because, I've pretty much proved to them that I'm really the superior one. And not to say it like because I feel like I'm holier than thou, because I've really shown them that any skirmish they could have been in could have been easily stopped, could have been easily avoided. But still, they hate me because of that. Also, also before Black Barber became Preacher, he did get kind of jealous of the fact that I had Mouse Lee, Miss Enigma, and Nayu. But we ain't gonna talk about that shit because I'm not trying to rub it in his face or anything. But yeah, you know, like seriously. And I'm like, Black Bomber has a little bit of humanity in him when it comes to his kids, but anybody else, nah. If your name ain't Seto, it's time for you to go. If you ain't a Tenchi Muyo character, it's time for you. It's time for you to go to the posterior. But I think Mel gets under his skin more than I do. Because he basically does the same thing that Black Bomber does, but he doesn't like solely do it for just like, getting down. He cares about them all equally. And yeah, they do all get jealous, but Mel pretty much is the peacemaker. That's who he is. Megalo, always the guy. If you needed a weapon, uh, if you need a weapon, or just a friend in science, it's always there. Overlord, Overlord will be there if you need it. If you need a hex done, or you just trying to chill with them like y'all swap very dumb creepypastas. G, I may give G a lot of shit. A lot of shit. But there is no other person in this world I would trust with my life other than him. And old Noir, motherfucker got wisdom more than I do. Some people ask Bugsy, why? Prime, why do you why? Why do you feel like you're better than them? Because you will say it one more time. I try to think what's best for everybody, not what's best for myself. I take out the people that need to be taken out, and I try to reason with the people I try to reason with before I start going to blows. Because nothing is gained. Nothing is truly gained when a life is lost. Oh, you get a little bit of territory? Oh, well, good for you. Good for you, buddy. Can you still hear the screaming? Yeah, I bet you can. So I try, even my immense power that could crush anybody in an instant, I try to do the best that I can. Because that's what Papa Artemis would want me to do. To be better. To be the Chaos Lord that he knew I could be. To be the king I knew I could be. Something that Demo, Goma, or Skips can never understand. Seto wins all the time because because those idiots never try to actually think of an actual plan. Always being saved by the Dickleback Guild. Half the reasons why they win is because of the Dickleback Guild. You know? When we sieged Jirai, we took down all of her super weapons, and she was laid. She just bowed her head down in defeat. I took no pleasure in that. I know I liked, in the one video I showed that I actually just bowed like, yeah, I did it. But that can be further from the truth. But that's a story for another day. It's fucked up on my break. I'm still talking about. It's fucked up. Even on my break, I'm still talking about work. But there I am. Bugsy Prime. Forever the busybody. Forever the workaholic. And I think that's fine. I think that's more than fine. You could say it's Prime. See you guys later. Peace.